When I first arrived in San Marcos, Nicaragua, I didn't know what to expect. I remember the first day we arrived. The bus took us on the most dangerous journey I've ever been on. When we arrived, the whole village was surrounded with man-made guitars and other instruments. Everyone was singing and welcoming us. I'm so glad I lived with the family I did. Bartolo was my host father, who at first seemed really shy, but he was so sweet and protective. Yelba was my host mother. She was just like a mum, taking me in as one of the family. Esther was the oldest. She was 14. She stopped studying at school the year before. There was no particular reason other than she was of an age when making tortillas, collecting water and washing clothes is the everyday routine. In a few years, she will be expected to have a kid of her own family. The cycle just goes on and on. Claudia is 11. She's definitely a character, reminding me of how I was as a child. She was mischievous, sometimes cheeky, although sometimes you felt she was treated slightly unfairly compared to her youngest sister Fatima. 9-year-old Fatima was the most complimentary little girl you will ever meet. Surely, every time she would see you, at least 17 times a day, she would come up to you and stroke your hair and say,
muy bonita, yo quiero tus pelos. Usted es muchas blanca y bonita. Ella es mi hermana blanca.
Little Ollie, the cutest, funniest 3-year-old ever, he hated wearing clothes and would always run barefoot just in his underpants when we were working, just to say hello or dance. 3rd of August 2013. The river was one of my favourite days. It really brought the children, us and the older guys closer together. We walked down this extremely steep hill. It's amazing how the kids do it in flip-flops. The guys are armed with machetes and guns, only to protect us. We played Marco Polo and Tig. It was so lovely that all the children were allowed to come with us too. The children started going to school more because we were telling them why it was so important. The problem was the teachers would mess them about. My sisters would walk 45 minutes to get to school, and the teachers just wouldn't turn up. We really tried to motivate them, but who can blame them if they are used to the disappointment?
¿Quieres ayudar? ¿Quieres ayudar? Lo siento, no entiendo. ¿Quieres ayudar?
At first, the language barrier made communication really difficult to understand each other. It was kind of awkward at first. You'd try and offer to help with the washing up and end up saying you wanted more food. Because we were working so hard in the day and up so early in the morning, we were always shattered. We'd come back after a day of work at around 5:30. It would start to get dark at about 6. There would be 2 chairs waiting for us. If anyone was sitting in the chairs, they would give them up as soon as they walked in. Yelbert would be making the evening meal. We'd eat our portion of pasta, with beans, with rice, with 2 tortillas, with potato, with egg, sometimes all on the same plate. They would try and impress us and give us so much food. We could never eat it all. Bartolo would come back from work and we'd ask him how his day was. Often we'd play cards. My host family especially loves Snap and Pig. One night I asked Esther what she was doing. She said she was making a necklace for me, a beautiful necklace made out of maize, just under the tiny flicker of candlelight. The 1st of September 2014. We all had a big party. Yelba and Bartolo wouldn't dance in front of everyone. There were too many guys around making the kids feel intimidated. I went back for Tamar, my favourite, and we just danced like idiots all together in a tiny little wooden house. 29th of August 2014. There was an incredible lightning storm. There were holes in the roofs and we were in wooden houses underneath a tree and the kids were just jumping up and down excited. I was kind of scared. As time went on, the language was not a problem. With a mixture of hand gestures, exaggerated acting and disjointed Spanish conversations, it was all we needed. The 4th of September 2014, Monica helped me write a letter to them and I give the family a copy of Peter Pan on the last night as a present. They all read it together. Then they all hug me tightly. Esther and Eddie helped me make this gorgeous bowl to remember them by. The morning we left, Ollie's up to play a last game of ball and I wake Fatima to say bye. We take a last photo on their disposable. I force a smile.